So let's go repair stuff, and we'll try Act 4, as we're kind of like borked. Otherwise, I mean, we could level up quite a bit more. We're way under-leveled for where we're at, but I think we're strong enough to actually handle it. We'll have some kind of fiddly moments where we're going to have to like juke our way out of stuff, but I think with our current setup, we are strong enough to actually handle most of this stuff. Double inventory. Yeah, that is one of those things that's really super helpful whenever you're just getting into Diablo 2. So I don't begrudge people for that one. The only drawback to that is if you are going to be using like an external mule program, it causes your character to not be compatible with it. That's the only like real big drawback to it. Because yeah, if you store stuff in those little open slots, it doesn't know what to do with it. It's confused to high hell. But like if I were to try to use Go Mule with this, it would freak the hell out. That's one reason why I'm hoping they eventually... Well, of course, we're also not doing single player right now. But if we were to do Go Mule in the single player version of this, it would freak the hell out. Because that's what it do. Thankfully, we are relatively strong. Ah, you guys are all trapped back there, which means free stuff. And I need to start actually upgrading my mercenaries' gear. I'm still using the stuff we got her like in Act 1 and Act 2. So it's kind of like, okay. What I should do is I should get a whole bunch of you guys into either Project Diablo 2 or even just vanilla Diablo 2. And we can do like an 8-player run through normal or something like that. Or even just like 4-player, depending on how many people would actually be interested. I don't know if like the Tuxedos would actually be interested in this. They're more into racing and card games and stuff like that. More group game, normal things, rather than competing for who gets the unique. So, yeah, we were doing fairly good at this point, I think. Especially considering we're only level 23 and we're in Act 4, and we're not really having that many problems. Sure, we got freaked out by the fact that Mephisto can fly over the river, which, yeah, that took me kind of off guard. But other than that, we still beat him. Let's just drop that there. He'll die anyway. So we need to kill Iswal. I hopefully will get Iswal, well, actually, most of Act 4 done relatively quickly. Act 4 is usually not the biggest of troubles. Oh, Holy Freeze. Nice. It does seem like they made more bosses appear in normal difficulty, which is a good thing. Because that lets you get your gear kind of set up a little bit sooner. Gives you more chances at uniques and set items and stuff like that, which is definitely an improvement. So, but again, if anyone has any like item advice for Project Diablo 2 or wants to tell me about the changes to the skills and stuff, I definitely welcome it. I know basic terminology for like the games and stuff like that because, well, I have been a Diablo 2 player since freaking, well, the betas, so 1999, which is well before the game even released, technically. But, eesh. Oh yeah, Iswal's gonna be a tank. That's all he do. So we'll drink potions and just spam on him. And, oh, he's targeting her. No. Don't be targeting her. You target me, fool. And we'll just drink potions and keep spamming this on him. And it does actually work fairly decent, I guess. So keep dropping that out whenever it starts expiring. And hopefully we'll get him down quick enough that we can actually start using some of those extra skill points. I thought about respecking in between episodes, but I was like, no, we'll stick with this build throughout normal. I want to stick with my mistakes at least the first time through. It's not uncommon for me to respec whenever I get bored with a build in basic Diablo 2. So, don't be surprised if I respec whenever we go into Nightmare to possibly, maybe a Wind Druid, just considering just like my various options there. Because Wind Druids are kind of fun. The Fire Druid is one that I went with just because I knew that they changed that. PD2 is not 1080p. I can send you the settings I use on it. It defaults, though, to... because it's using MultiRes. It's defaulting to 1068 by 600. Because what it's basically doing is it's taking the default vertical I'll kill these guys real quick. But it's taking the default vertical, and then stretching the sides out. This keeps it relatively stable, thanks to using MultiRes. So, and they generally recommend not going above a certain resolution, which is this right here. Otherwise, you will run into problems, and then it just upscales from there. And the default upscaler is a bilinear upscaler. I manually changed that to no no bilinear upscaling because it makes reading the text a little bit more difficult in Diablo 2 because of how it's written and stuff. It would work in a lot of things, but I am used to reading the Diablo 2 text a certain way. So I just kind of went, nah, I'll do it my way, and disabled it. But if you do install Project Diablo 2, I can actually just post my configuration file on the Discord, and you can get it there, and it should work out pretty good. So, but you can see it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like super pretty, but that's because it's pixel art, basically. I say pixel art. It's 2D sprite work with whatchamacallit, upscaling, but the 2D sprite work is derivative. Aha! That's what I was going for. It's derivative of the 3D models that they made. And that's one of the reasons why you don't... That's like one of the barriers that they frequently mention whenever it comes to doing a remaster of this, is they lost a lot of the 3D art. So they're pretty much boned in that regard. They'd have to remake it from scratch. That or just reuse these old graphics, which would mean they'd be doing a remaster with very low res. That's one reason why someone has been doing like an AI kind of high definition mod thingy. It's not available to the public yet, but where AI basically goes in and makes the higher res sprites, sort of. But I'm not sure how well that works. I've only ever seen little clips of it. I don't mind the pixel graphics. I'm used to playing retro games upscaled, so it's like, whatever. And frankly, people thinking high resolution means the same as high definition is one of the biggest complaints I get on a little tutorial I did. Which sucks. I just ignore it nowadays. It's like, okay, you guys can do whatever you want. I'll sometimes just put in my token reply. But that's about it. And by token reply, I mean basically as far as games of this age, yes, they actually hold up exceptionally well. Especially compared to Baldur's Gate, the original Baldur's Gate. Oh god, that thing looks like hot garbage, but the remaster of that is actually really good. So, let's see. Not the remaster, the enhanced edition, let's put it that way, is actually really good on the graphics end of things. And I do love that this can go under walls without being wonder walls. And that's absolute garbage. This is probably going to be garbage too. Yeah, we want to just cast this against the wall. Hopefully. Nope, it's not going to get them. We're going to have to go around. I'm more interested in finding the stairs anyway than actually fighting with those guys. Let's see, Battle Staff should be a decent amount of money. We're a little bit full on mana potions, so I should be chugging these like a crazy person. I shouldn't be just sitting here hoarding them. My brain still sits back at the point when mana potions weren't viable. If you were curious as to why I never seem to actually use mana potions as much as I should, because back when I started Diablo 2, you couldn't buy them. Oh yeah, that would be another one that. Oh yeah, I need to finish the Let's Plays of the Baldur's Gate ones. After, if I can get to affiliate on here, I'll probably pick up just recording them live on here. But I know for a fact that those generally are going to go like garbage unless you are very, very big in that community. So those guys are going to come for us, and we can just drop these out. Yay! And that just is torching every last one of them. Sweet. I need to get more healing potions is what I need, because we're low level, so we're going to be struggling through some of this. Because, generally speaking, for new players, I wouldn't recommend going to Act 4 until you're at least, like, level 30. And that way you don't get like kind of discouraged, because things here can hit like a truck, and if you're not used to their patterns, it can rip you a new one. There you go. And still no stairs down. I do really terrible at finding these sometimes. There you go. All of you die. We will drink a mana potion and take more off the ground. Did we actually run out of a column of mana potions? Oh yeah, because they don't auto refill, which sucks. Glorious high. Oh yeah, 640. 640 by 480. Oh, I remember those graphics. Yeah, 600 by 800 should be available in 1.14. Thank God. So that at least will help you a little bit there. For me, I couldn't get it to actually... It will capture the game with this one. Sort of. I actually have to capture window, not game. But for base Diablo 2, I actually have to do monitor capture for it to work. So it's just one of those. But that's probably because I use Glide Wrapper on that. I would love to use Glide Wrapper on this. That way I could make it back to 4x3. But unfortunately, Project Diablo 2 almost always... I haven't figured out a way to get around it, even editing various file things. Forces you onto this resolution. So that's one of my only real gripes whenever getting this set up. Because the rest of the settings, not super self-explanatory, but useful enough. Like if you wanted to play windowed or something, it'd be pretty easy to do that. And yes, I am swapping around on servers. I think I'm on West right now, which would give me kind of mixed results on ping, but that's the downside, is the community for Diablo 2 is small enough that someone's going to have a low ping in the game if you actually have a decent group of people together from across the world, where you're trying to find Carmen Sandiego, I guess. Yeah, it can. I don't know if it can hook in... Oh, jeez, we just went around the entire thing for no reason. But it can hook into it. But I'm not sure, like, what installs it will and won't hook into. Like, it won't hook into any of my Glide Wrapper installs. I haven't tried it on my raw vanilla install, because I do have one of those too. Oh yeah, we can do that. Garbage. That's decent, but it's not better than what we got. We're going to keep it for the faster cast rate in case we need that, though. And we need to clear out all these potions because we are getting plenty. We just need maybe 6 of each, if that, for healing purposes. And I'm not going to do any of the like combining on screen because that's kind of boring to watch. Well, it's boring as hell to watch somebody do like too much inventory management. But even still, I got to do a little bit because it is Diablo 2. So that's going to be that. But if I was going to like condense all my stuff down, that can take tons of time. I can't wait until we get flawlesses, though. Oh, speaking of which, we can start getting them pretty soon. It captures is going to screenshot and show you... Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I can look afterwards if you just want to put it over on the Discord. You should be able to upload pictures there. Should. No guarantees. I might have actually not had it enabled for a while, because for a while there were people spamming. So I had it disabled, but I thought I re-enabled it. I could be wrong. DG Voodoo? Yeah, that would probably be one of the reasons why. DG Voodoo is pretty good. I'm used to using Glide Wrapper, because I know how it works. It's one of those I'm more familiar with it situations, not necessarily better or worse. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I was pretty sure I had enabled it, but it's just... What weirds me out is there's like 1,000 people on there. Is the weirdest thing to me. Most of them don't talk, because they come there for the downloads, but... There's like... Yeah. Honestly, if I was going to do something other than Diablo 2 with it, I would probably get DG Voodoo and just go with that one. Because frankly... While the Glide Wrapper can work with other games, it's a little bit more of a pain to get going. My usual go-to is DX Win. So, but that is for kind of a slightly different situation. But Yeah. And also, most of the games I'm trying to run work with DX Wind. Like the Throne of Darkness and stuff like that work well with it. So, this game does not. Diablo 1, oddly enough, worked well with DX Wind. Just weird little coincidence. But you don't need that now with the GOG release of it. Which I still need to do an LP of. I have beaten Diablo 1 back in the day, but I don't think I could honestly do it super easily nowadays. I am that out of touch with, like, my Diablo 1 knowledge, much less, you know, muscle memory. Because I think the last time I played Diablo 1 besides the First Strike was... jeez. Decades ago. Yeah. Glide Wrapper, he makes ones that go like specifically for like the game. So it's one of those. And they could do GG Voodoo with this as well. I mean, they have the stuff in place for various upscalers. It's just a question of whether they're actually going to use them. And one more level and we can actually not really worry about where we're leveling at anymore. That'll be so freaking nice. Do we want Volcano yet? No, we're going to stick with Fissure. I will wait to get Volcano until I actually respec. I think I will stick with Fire, at least through Nightmare, though. Just to kind of keep the theme going. But we're going to keep just pushing forward. We're not going to grind too much. Because that would be kind of annoying. We're just trying to get through so we can start getting, like, Magic Find into Nightmare and stuff like that. Get our basic gear together. We're transferring between the characters, get things kind of set up and be happy. Ah, there you go. Maw Fiend. Ooh, yay, more rings. Main reason I'm picking those up is more gold nowadays, because I do have rares, so we can stick with those. And we are not running out of mana nearly as much thanks to the little bit of mana recovery we have from our staff. Common uses of game inherit your monitor's color profile. Yeah, that would be kind of a useful thing. One thing that is it throws me off on this is that the darks in this are way darker than in the normal Diablo 2 installs I have, which makes it kind of harder. But at the same time, it's not that big of a deal. I could adjust the gamma up. In fact, I have the gamma adjusted up a little bit in my base installs, so that just makes recording it a little bit easier as well. Because whenever you have really dark screens, like whenever you're in the caves in this, I don't need that. But yeah, whenever you're in the caves in this, it can be a little bit hard to see on stream. So we're going to just keep beating the crap out of this. And hello, 5 viewers, I think? Sweet. It's more than we usually get. So I appreciate the presence. And I think we may have converted another one to at least playing for a little bit. Yes. So if you do a run through it, or you're just going to do just through normal, or... Oh, yeah. That can be a pain in the butt. But yeah, if you do a playthrough, are you going to just go through normal, or are you just going to go through all difficulties? You're not going to get a different ending or anything by going through all difficulties. All you're going to get is more access to gear and more challenge. Which is one reason I ended up doing this for, geez, almost 4 years now. Diablo 2, that is. Not, like, on-channel Diablo 2 for almost 4 years. Which, every day I think about that is just ridiculous. So, it is very weird not to be able to just transfer on items that I want. Yeah, this is... It's just a relaxing thing for me more than an actual addiction. It's one of those things like, if I don't want to think for a while, I'll just do this instead of one of my more complicated games. Because while there is strategy in this and there is some, like, complicated things you can do, you don't have to do them to be successful in the game. which makes me a little bit happy. Oh, amp damage sucks. Now, my addiction right now is still Tales of Berseria. It's just, I was too tired to actually do a playthrough of it last night. Oh, she's surviving. Barely. Can you stop shooting her with that? I need to just block them from her. Oh, healing potion. There you go. Wow, we churned through so many potions there. Thankfully, we have a crap ton in here.